Hi, I'm Ron Gifford. This week we're going behind the scenes in Rushville in Rush County, located halfway between Indianapolis and Cincinnati in east central Indiana. Bounded on the north and south by Interstate 70 and 74, and crisscrossed by major highways and railroad lines, Rush County is a prime location for businesses of all kinds. We've seen that the success of each Indiana community relies on the natural resources available in the region, combined with the talents and skills of the residents there who use those resources to achieve their goals. We wanted to find out what makes Rush County a special place and how it's become the success story that it is today. Let me show you what we found out. Driving through the area, it's easy to see that agriculture remains an important factor in the county's success. High-tech farms dot the landscape, including a major center operated by Pioneer Hybrid. In the midst of this technology, however, it's not unusual to come across several Amish buggies and farms. With the Big Flat Rock River and various wells and springs, it's obvious that there is an abundant water supply. With limestone formations and stands of forest throughout the county, it's clear that natural beauty is an abundant resource in this community. In addition to agribusiness, Rush County boasts several major manufacturing operations. Facilities like INTAT Precision, an automotive casting supplier. Trane, a world leader in commercial heating and air conditioning products, has a major plant here, as does Emerson Copeland, a leader in climate technologies. Rush County is also home to some interesting and diverse one-of-a-kind businesses, ranging from the Sampler, creating handmade artisan furniture, to Holland Technical Ceramics, whose precision tools are used on the International Space Station, to Barada Associates, providing cutting-edge employment screening services. What are the attributes of a community that allow such varied and diverse enterprises to enjoy this level of success? There's a common thread that runs through these places. It often starts with good schools. Rushville Consolidated High School has an A rating, the highest conferred by the state. It has a wide range of curriculum offerings, with college credit and AP courses. Access to quality health care is another key factor, and Rush Memorial Hospital sets the standard here, recognized as one of the country's leading hospitals in the adoption of electronic medical records and health information technology. It's obvious that the arts play a vital role in the quality of a community's life, along with the preservation of its cultural history. And along the way, the community is positioning itself for future economic growth, with a new business park, access to fiber, and workforce training all coming together. Of course, much of a community's present success is built on its past. During the Civil War, this area was known as a hotbed of political dissension. And of course, Rushville served as the national headquarters for Wendell Willkie's bid for the U.S. presidency in 1940. I wanted to talk to someone who could help me connect the dots. Joining me at the Rush County Historical Society is Rushville Mayor Mike Pavey, whose family settled in Rush County in 1877. Mayor Pavey knows the key that started all this development.
I think I can sum it up in two bankable words: bluegrass.
Bluegrass?
Extraordinary Indiana is sponsored by Payne Insurance Agency, serving Indiana's insurance needs for over 50 years. Quick Picks Convenience Stores and Herdick Petroleum, proudly serving East Central Indiana.
Today we're visiting the Back Rhoades Carriage Co, owned by Aaron and Jackie Rhoades. At the suggestion of Mayor Pavey, I caught up with John Wilson, president of the Rush County Historical Society and the owner of Harness Racing Horses, to learn more about the importance of bluegrass and the county's development.
I need you to think like a Rush County settler building a home here in 1820. When this territory was ceded by the Delaware Indians to the state of Indiana, settlers found four important factors for the region's development: fertile land, plentiful water, hardwood forest, and naturally occurring bluegrass. Thanks to the rich soil left by the deposits of the glacier, Rush County has very fertile farmland. When the settlers first moved into what would become Rush County, they found a thick hardwood forest. The first year, a family would build their cabin and clear 1 acre for planting. But a key factor in how the county developed was the fact that bluegrass was indigenous to the county, and it sprung up spontaneously wherever the land was cleared and left unbroken by the plow. That's according to the history of Rush County, written in 1888.
So in the beginning, the three major industries were farming, furniture and cabinet making, and the development of the horse industry. So are all of those industries still active in Rush County?
Yes, to some degree. Looking back after the Civil War, at one point we had 25 racing and training tracks in the county, and we saw the buildup of all types of industry that served the horse, like buggy making. We had one manufacturer who turned out more than 2,000 buggies a year. That was the Sterling Buggy Company that moved here from Anderson. Horses played an important role in early farming. The stronger the horses were, the more they could pull, and the more endurance they had. So a good strong horse with stamina could mean the difference between life and death for an 1820s farm family.
Aaron and Jackie Rhoades offer riding lessons, show Belgian draft horses and percherons, and provide horses for special events.
It's really a good area for all around what my needs are and what a horse owner would need.
Rush County grew quickly, and for a while we rivaled Kentucky in the production of horses, not just draft horses, but also standard bred racehorses. James Wilson settled here from Bourbon County, Kentucky. His stallion, Blue Bull, was a standard bred harness horse. Blue Bull sired more than 900 foals, and Old Sam, as he was called, earned more than $90,000 in breeding fees for his owner in the late 1800s. The horse racing bubble burst in 1899 because of a scandal. Fictitious race results had been reported. The scandal rocked the horse racing world. 11 people from Rush County were expelled from the National Racing Association. So you see, at that point, the community had to reinvent itself. Think about 1899 and the changes that were evolving in transportation. We were going from the horse and buggy and railroad transportation to some new developments. What was the next big industry in transportation?
Well, the automobile.
Exactly right.
To learn more about Rush County's history, visit the Rush County Historical Museum on the web at rushcountyhistory.org.
High-tech precision agriculture is prevalent here in Rush County. With most modern farm equipment now navigating by GPS, fences have been removed to take full advantage of this fertile land. Annual corn and soybean production in Rush County consistently ranks in the state's top 10. John McCain, former Rushville mayor, is the head of the Rush County Economic Development Corporation and serves as a board member of the Rush County Historical Society. So John, how did this area become such a prosperous agricultural community?
Well, I guess I'd probably have to answer your question through the lens of history. Well, I think it's safe to say that our community's prosperity came from a sense of shared personal responsibility and cooperation. And of course, educating our children played an important role in fostering the community spirit that we have here in Rush County. One of our early prominent settlers, Judge William B. Laughlin, came to Rush County in 1820. He suggested the county be named in honor of Dr. Benjamin Rush, a Pennsylvania signer of the Declaration of Independence. Laughlin had studied medicine with Dr. Rush. In 1822, Dr. Laughlin donated 75 acres of his own land to the county to establish Rushville as the county seat. Dr. Laughlin then built, at his own expense, a two-story house for the community schoolmaster that would function as a school on the first floor and a residence on the second floor. The community also agreed to build a courthouse where disputes could be adjudicated. You have to remember that this was still a wild country and settlers were at risk from animal and Indian attacks. Maintaining good cooperative relationships with near neighbors was a necessary policy. So you can see that community spirit develop early on through a tradition of community action. The successful farmers and the breeders in this area understood the fact that they had to rely upon each other and they had to cooperate. Building and maintaining good schools is a priority in Rush County. Our four-star high school has a 96% graduation rate. We also take pride in building and maintaining good healthcare facilities like Rush Memorial Hospital. We encourage reinvestment in new area businesses, encourage arts and cultural involvement, and embrace innovative farming techniques and products. Ron, I brought you out to this field here today because this is just one example of Pioneer hybrid seed stock that grows all over Rush County. They established a major presence here in the late 1960s. Pioneer was purchased by DuPont in 1999 and kept their operation active, even completing a $12.6 million expansion to their facility in the fall of 2013.
Pioneer built here in Rushville in 1967. The location was selected based on the corporate philosophy to provide more localized service to our customers, something we emphasize and value still today.
We currently operate as a major corn production facility. Indiana remains a key growing environment for DuPont Pioneer. The products we grow locally and condition, treat, and package at the plant are shipped to growers across North America. The Rushville, Indiana area is a prime growing location for Pioneer brand corn hybrids.
Well, Ron, there's no doubt that prosperity occurs in the Rush County community mostly through cooperation. Education, healthcare, workforce development, improving infrastructure, encouraging the arts. These are all endeavors that are too complicated to be undertaken by one family or one person.
So you mentioned business reinvestment.
Exactly, that's what's happening here in Rush County. And I can sum that up in 2 words: advanced manufacturing.
Extraordinary Indiana is sponsored by 9-Star Connect, business solutions for your data, voice, video, and IT needs. For all your insurance needs, call the Kevin Snyder Agency, 765-932-3401.
It's easy to see how agriculture and the horse industry added so greatly to the prosperity of Rush County. So what part did the natural hardwood forest play in the growth of the major manufacturing?
Again, we need to think like an 1820 settler. Almost everything was made out of wood because there was an abundant supply of timber. Besides building homes and furniture, there was a need to improve modes of transportation too. Horse-drawn vehicles and farm implements were constructed primarily from wood. Later, the same was true for canal boats, train cars, early autos and planes, lots of hardwoods used for construction. Thanks to the convergence of the horse industry and the timber industry, Rushville wasn't just building buggies and buckboards. They were also building a manufacturing workforce. Farm workers made good factory employees. They were accustomed to active manual labor. They had good mechanical skills, and they were very self-reliant. At the beginning of the 20th century, many buggy makers made the switch over to the automobile industry. At the same time, many people were heading to the cities. Many immigrants were coming to the United States, and there was a growing need for furniture. The hardwood furniture industry was coming into its own golden age. The Sampler Furniture Company, owned by Bruce and Linda Levi, still creates artisan-made cherry furniture from wild cherry timber grown here in Indiana. Would you like to go in?
Yeah.
Build a better mousetrap was the way our founder put it. We have built a product that is worth coming to see. We don't cut corners, we're building furniture. We use all upper grade cherry. Cherry is a unique wood the way it darkens as it ages, so you can get a beautiful finish on it. We use our own formulation of an oil finish, a lot of sanding, a lot of elbow grease goes into every piece we make.
This finish is like satin. What happened to the other furniture manufacturers?
Again, we see reinvestment and reinvention. For example, let's look at the Hawkins Furniture Factory. Originally built to construct hardwood cabinets for stereos, then cabinets for televisions as the market changed. Today, this is the home of one of Trane's North American plants. It makes variable air volume products for commercial use in this advanced manufacturing facility. Greg Harcourt is the plant general manager.
In 1971, Trane planned to introduce variable air volume products to the marketplace. They were looking for an existing building centrally located to customers with a community that could support the production. Our Trane variable air volume manufacturing operations in Rushville utilizes lean manufacturing technology to manufacture our solutions. Our team in Rushville is committed to producing results that earn continuing investment from our Trane and Ingersoll-Rand leadership. Our location in Rushville continues to provide a great place, centrally located to our customers. Our people make a difference. We have a very skilled workforce dedicated to improvement and serving the customer.
So, what's the mentality of Rush County that allows it to reinvent and reimagine itself?
Well, have you ever noticed the type of communities that grew up around racetracks? Maybe out-of-the-box thinking is a more modern term for better's luck.
We've seen how Rush County's agrarian economy evolved into manufacturing by the turn of the 20th century.
Like so many other Indiana communities after World War II, advanced manufacturing became a very important part of the Rush County economy. For example, let's look at a facility that was originally built as a foundry in 1959 by the Perfect Circle Corporation. INTAT Precision purchased the operation and began their production in 1988. INTAT Precision provides original equipment manufacturer cast and machine precision casting for the automotive industry. About 94% of their product is sold to Toyota, and they supply parts to the Toyota assembly plant in Princeton, Indiana, as well as to the Subaru factory in Lafayette. Brad Rist is their vice president.
Every Toyota vehicle manufactured in the continental United States has at least one of our products manufactured in this facility on the vehicle. In 2012, we expanded our manufacturing operation. Just recently, we have announced another $22.7 million expansion project. Our parent company considered multiple sites or alternate sites outside of the state of Indiana, and our people stepped up and met several challenges over the course of the last few years. We are centrally located, and with the help of the city and the county, the decision to expand here in Rushville was the best choice.
John, how does the presence of a major manufacturer like INTAT in your community help you attract similar businesses?
Well, the movement of raw materials and finished goods are very important to any industrial operation. Having support from existing companies who are looking for ways to expand their transportation options is greatly beneficial. For example, in 1981, Emerson Copeland chose to build this plant in Rushville as a remanufacturing facility because of its centralized location. About half of the products made here are shipped overseas. The average person probably doesn't put a whole lot of thought into how do you keep food and blood and other perishables cold. But I can assure you our McDonald's and our Kroger's and our local hospital give a great deal of thought to that on a daily basis. Emerson Copeland provides hermetically sealed compressors for large refrigeration and freezer needs in their 130,000 square foot manufacturing facility. In 2010, they purchased a 94,000 square foot warehouse just east of their manufacturing building. Dominic Busciano has been plant manager since 2001. With his assistance, we've been lobbying to extend the Indiana Highway 3 Commerce Corridor to improve shipping logistics for all of this area.
Rushville has been great. It's a great community, and our employees have been here, a lot of them, since we opened in 1980. We take health and safety very seriously here in Rushville. We also believe in being good corporate stewards to our community. We do that by encouraging volunteer work. We do that through encouraging our hourly employees and all of our associates, for that matter, to take leadership roles within the community. We also do it as an organization by helping the community in various local charity drives and through helping them set up a walking path.
You know, Ron, I believe that growth attracts growth, and I just feel confident that Rush County is poised for great expansion.
So what do you see as the future for Rushville and Rush County?
I believe that's probably a topic you need to take up with Mayor Pavey.
At Rush County Schools, we have a rich tradition in both curricular and extracurricular activities. We are proud to be a focal point of the community, and we strive for excellence. We have a wide variety of programming for our students, such as college prep and vocational training. To learn more about our excellent school corporation, please feel free to contact us.
So you were talking about betters and luck.
Well, think about American communities that grew up around horses and horse tracks. During the Victorian period, we have communities like Saratoga Springs, New York, Goshen, New York, Louisville, Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky, and yes, even Rushville, Indiana. Rushville and Rush County have been shaped by some pretty determined risk takers. William Jones took a risk promoting a 1-mile racetrack here called Riverside Park. John K. Gowdy, Consul General to Paris under President McKinley, took his Rush County horses to France with him. We just had a retrospective about silent film actress Carmelita Garrity. I think you can say that the community has accepted some pretty eclectic risk takers, especially when they're able to back up their hunches with success. I'd like for you to meet Paul Barada, chairman of Barada Associates, a pre-employment screening service since 1979 that has provided background information for many Fortune 500 companies nationwide from their home base adjacent to the Rushville Courthouse Square. Paul is also active on the boards of the Rush County Schools and the Rush County Chamber of Commerce.
So, what are the benefits of locating a business like yours in a community like Rushville?
I think one of the biggest things is the cost of doing business in a town like Rushville is much lower than it would be in the larger urban area. I think you can make a difference here, and that's what I've tried to do during the time that I've lived in Rushville, and I know a lot of other people have done that as well.
So do you see some upcoming opportunities for growth in Rush County service industries?
Absolutely. We offer a number of incentives for small businesses to operate in Rushville, whether it's an independently owned restaurant, a movie theater, a bakery, a brew pub, whatever. We are open and ready for business, as they say in the trade.
Another of Rushville's innovators is Chris Holland of Holland Technical Ceramics. Holland's custom precision ceramics have had to pass muster, an ability to even avoid friction for use on the International Space Station.
This is a ceramic air bearing that we made 5 of these for the International Space Station. This bearing is designed with a stainless steel shaft, and on that shaft we put ceramic sleeves, and then we precision machine this to fit this ceramic journal.
What other type of products do you create?
We manufacture a number of custom ceramic products for a number of industries. One of the industries that we service is the battery industry. If you go to the store and buy batteries, or maybe even like a Rayovac battery, the tooling that was made to manufacture those batteries was made here in Rushville, Indiana at Holland Technical Ceramics.
So why is this a good area for you to grow your business?
I love living in Rushville. It's a great community. I have 2 children. The schools here in Rush County are exceptional. So for the main thing in my life, my kids, it's a great place to live.
After meeting many of your entrepreneurs here in Rush County, I would agree that risk-taking is part of their personality trait. It seems like, though, they also remove risk for their clients.
I think that's a very good point.
Rush County is a great place to live, work, and play. Rushville and Rush County's leadership is committed to creating a business-friendly climate that helps first-time entrepreneurs and established companies to flourish. In 2014, Ball State University recognized Rushville with its distinguished Primacy of Place Award. Whether it's because of the talented workforce, the ease of doing business, the county's historical treasures, or simply relaxing for a night of music, Rushville is the sweet spot for East Central Indiana. Check out more information on Rush County on our website at rushecdc.org.
We've enjoyed spending time in Rushville and in Rush County and learning how your history has influenced your community today, from agriculture, horses, gamblers, furniture makers, and major manufacturers. So, Mr. Mayor, what's the next big project?
We have the North Industrial Park, which is an area that we will market for incoming industry. The infrastructure they're putting in right now is the roads, streets. They'll also be putting in water, sewer, and that specific site has accessibility to fiber, which is we have a very robust fiber network, and we think that that will be a big component in marketing that industrial park in the future.
In order to continue attracting new businesses to Rush County, you need to have a strong workforce. Tell me about your efforts related to workforce development here.
Of all the areas we've made progress, this is probably the one that we've made the most progress. We have created a program called K to Success, which is, in its simplest form, K meaning kindergarten through a successful career. That's an effort with the high school to create a mentoring program that tells kids, maybe that aren't going to go on to higher education, what classes they need to focus on, whether it be in a vocational school or at high school, that would allow them to enter the workforce. We also have worked with a more national program called ACT Work Ready, and that is a program that qualifies people, labor, to show that they are ready and committed to work. We also have Ivy Tech. We have a local presence to our Ivy Tech, and we also partner with them on job training programs, one being Manufacturing Matters. In essence, we're trying to create a pool of workers that are qualified, that are recognized by employers, and also be able to retain some of those graduates that we have from the local school system.
Aaron Rhodes and Bruce Levi talked about how the characteristics of this community have supported their businesses and helped make them successful. As you attract new manufacturers, international companies, how do you balance the need for economic growth with the desire to maintain the small town feel that makes Rushville and Rush County what they are today?
I think one of the things we begin to realize and we begin to educate the community on is the fact that we do need growth. And it's imperative that we grow. Obviously, education, an education backbone, hospital and healthcare are important. Quality of life is something that's important. And I think those are all critical for us to, and whether it be an artisan, whether it be an industry, those are important to both of them. So to have those is critical for us to move forward.